When? Yes. Uh, Vasanta Rutu, or the spring season, or early spring, is the time wherein you can undergo the process of emesis or vomiting or vamana. That is the time wherein kapha is very much predominant in the body. The analogy given over here for spring is that just after winter, the sun starts shining up on the mountain peaks and melts the snow. Similarly, there is heat during the day which melts the kapha which is accumulated during winter and causes disorders of the kapha in the body. That is the time you undergo a process of vamana. The second process following season is a season for bastis. Basti is enema, and enema is given per anus to invigorate the entire colon, which is the seat of vata. Now, if you've got to do it in that season of June and July, or in the rainy season, or in the Varsha Ritu, it means this is a time when vata is at its peak, or in a prakopavastha, wherein vata has increased naturally in the body. To pacify vata, enema is given. Two forms of enemas I spoke about. One is the one with kashayas, or with more of fluid material in that, and the second enema is the enema with oil. Now, the course depends on what kind of prakriti the person has. The kashaya also that we choose, the decoction we choose based on the prakriti of the person. The third process of Panchakarma is the process of virechana or purgation, wherein again you have to undergo the process of taking ghee, exposing yourself to sun, steaming and massage, and then after 2 days gap you are given medications to purge you. Medications are given in the pitta kala, and then you are subjected to purging. You, depending on your colonic capacities, as I would call them, which is called as koshta in Ayurveda, you would pass, say, ranging from 8 to 10 bowels to up to 30 bowels as well. Funnily, these are the times wherein if you have a diarrhea or an infective dysentery, every time you go to the toilet you will feel very tired. But it's just the other way around over here. If you are undergoing virechana, every time you pass the bowel you feel cleaner and cleaner. Yeah. So you don't feel as tired. Suppose you had a diarrhea and you have to go about 15 times to the toilet. By the end of the day you were so dehydrated that you would have to be given intravenous fluids. But when it comes to these processes, even 30 times, so I have come across cases with 40 times as well, and they're fit as a fiddle until the next day. It's only they feel a little weak because a lot of fluid has come out of the body and the person hasn't eaten anything throughout the last whole week wherein he's been preparing his body or her body towards Panchakarma. The other therapy is Nasya therapy, which can be employed anytime. That is the arine therapy, as you call it, wherein you use medicated oils or ghee to be in, or powders as well, to be insufflated into the nose. Nasahi shiraso dwaram, they have said. That is, the nose is the opening to the head. So those medications which cannot cross the blood-brain barrier can be introduced inside the brain cavity with the help of these nasal drops. Again, why do we do this? Your sense organs all are located in this area. Your eyes, your nose, your ear, your tongue, and the skin, the fifth sense organ, is located everywhere else. Now those nutritive vessels, I have used the term nutritive vessels, which nurture these sense organs, are located at the base of your nose in a space of chaturangula, or your 4 fingers. So that's medication which is used into the nose goes and activates this center, which is placed exactly at the base of the nose, and therein the nerves, the blood vessels which come or go to these organs are activated, enriched, nurtured, stimulated. So it is a very, very beneficial process. Apart from this, it maintains the sense organs, it maintains clarity in all the sense organs, and again, it stops. It is very good for the complexion as well as a wrinkle reducer. They say you don't need a facelift if you're using this regularly as a wrinkle reducer, as well as it prevents graying of the hair. Now these are the four karmas of the five which I've finished. The one which has been added by Shushruta is called as Rakta Mokshana, which was traditionally used by a lot of people around over here, wherein bloodletting was done by the use either of leeches or by cutting veins, venesection. Bloodletting was done. This was specifically done at the end of Sharad Rutu, or somewhere in September, October, when the heat in the body is a little more, when Pitta is very much on the rise. So Pitta having his home in blood or Rakta, you release it out from the Rakta, you have newly formed blood tissue which is there. So Rakta Mokshan was used, advocated as another form of Panchakarma.